Hey, Colin Hiles here, aka the Mindset Guy, with today's training video, which is called How to Be Happy Part 1. So this is going to be, at the moment anyway, a 4-part video series. So if you follow me for any length of time, you know that that might change. But at the moment, it's 4 videos around how to be happy. And I'm going to presuppose that you are not so interested in the why of happiness and the benefits of happiness. I'm going to assume that you know what they are. However, you know the benefits and the why of happiness. What you're here for is how to be happy. And, you know, I'm no happiness guru, but it is something that has interested me, like it interests, or it's a unifier for all human beings. Most human beings are interested in being happy. And something that was said to me many years ago, if you want to be anything in life, make it a study, right? If you want to be a lawyer, then you study, how to be a lawyer. If you want to be a doctor, then you study how to be a doctor, right? If you want to be a plumber, then you study how to be a plumber. Well, if you want to be happy, study happiness. If you want to be wealthy, study wealth. If you want to be successful, study success, right? Make it a study. Do not, have the cross-fingered approach to things. So it is something that I've studied. It is something that has interested me selfishly because I want to be happy, right? But what I want to share with you here is some of the things that I've learned that can make a difference. So let's talk first about, well, what is happiness? Now, there is no single definition of happiness, right? Some of the best thinkers that have walked before us and are around us today can't come up with a single definition. But it's a heavily debated, it's a heavily talked about subject because all human beings are interested in it. So what I like to do is simplify things. So let's have a spectrum here from unhappy to happy. And on this spectrum is a whole gamut of different emotions that we will experience. So we have at this end down here, worry, doubt, fear, anxiety, hopeless, helpless, powerless, depression. That'll be some of the emotions that we would experience down this end. And then at this end of the spectrum, happy, some of the emotions that we like to experience. So positivity, optimism, joyful, successful, achievement, calm, confident, contentment. They would be some of the more pleasurable, more positive emotions. So because we're human beings, being emotive, we're somewhere on that scale at any given time. Right? That's the first thing. The key is to figure out where are we and in which direction we're moving in, because is it fair to say that no matter how happy someone is, they're going to have experiences which are going to cause unhappiness? Well, of course. All right. So it's important that we have the ability to experience all of the emotions. Some would say that how can you experience happiness if you haven't experienced sadness? Sadness gives you the comparison. And I kind of get that, right? But we're all going to have experiences in our life which are painful. And that lovely saying, pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. So it's not about always being happy, right? Because we should be feeling a whole gamut of different emotions. But what we need to look at is what direction are we moving in more than anything else. So if you take the 4 key areas of your life, health, wealth, love, and lifestyle, right? Think about those 4 key areas. 4 key areas of your life. Which direction are you moving in? So firstly, we have, are you moving from unhappy to happy, moving in that direction? Or are you moving from happy to unhappy, right? Are you moving in that direction? Now, I'm going to assume somewhere in your life you're going in this direction. That's what's caused you to click on the video and figure out how you turn that around, right? But that's what's going on. And it is possible that in our lives, in one area of our life, we're moving in this direction, moving from unhappy to happy. And in another area of our life, we're moving from happy to unhappy. So it could be, in the area of your life of relationships, you're really, really, happy. You're moving from unhappy, dissatisfied, single, alone, to being in a relationship which is going fantastic. So you're moving that way. Could be in another area of your life, like career, your job is just boring, it's tedious, you're not getting anything from it anymore, there's no meaning, there's no sense of achievement, no sense of fulfillment, and you're moving that way, right? So first thing I'd like you to do is take health, wealth, love, and lifestyle and figure out what direction are you moving in. That's the first thing I'd like you to do. First action from this video. The more specific you are, the more you're going to get from video 2, 3, and 4. So that's your first action. Also, I want to talk about three things that are important when it comes to happiness from my own experience. And that is power of choice, power of intention, power of responsibility. So you see that I've put choice here. We've talked about what's your current level of happiness, health, wealth, love, and lifestyle, what direction you're moving in. Now we've got choice. Choice, right? The power of choice. Now, some people that I work with are definitely operating from the assumption I have no choice. So, their life is not great, and they feel powerless, they feel hopeless, they feel helpless, and some say depressed. And when you explore what's going on in their mind, they have this belief that I don't have a choice. This is the way that it is for me, this is my life, and I don't have a choice. And I would challenge that and say, of course, all of us have a choice. We have a choice from moment to moment as to whether we're going to be happy or not. And if I give you an example, right, a pet peeve for me is waiting in queues. I mean, it's such a total waste of time when you're waiting in a queue or you're stuck in traffic through no fault of your own. You're not going to make it to the appointment. Frustration, anger, you see this, road rage, train rage, where someone's sitting in someone else's seat. We've got, lane rage in swimming pools where someone's not swimming fast enough in the fast lane, you get a fight going on. Trolley rage in supermarkets, where someone is with their trolley not going fast enough. I mean, goodness. So how did I get onto that? I have no idea. So so my pet peeve, right? Now, before I really understood happiness, I would experience a degree of frustration, a degree of anger, etc. But once I realized that I have a choice, the power of choice, I can choose my response to what's going on. Well, then I don't have to be those ways. I could be anywhere on the spectrum of emotions that I want to be. So if I know that I'm going to be stuck in traffic, well, then I can take a book with me, stuck in a queue, beg your pardon. I know that's going to happen. I could take a book with me. I could take my Kindle with me. I could take something to read so that I'm still doing something of value in that time. If it's through no fault of my own that I'm stuck in traffic, well, then I can still choose how I'm going to respond. Or I'm stuck at an airport because they've cancelled the flight. I can still choose how I'm going to respond. So, I could think about things that are coming up which I'm excited about. I could think about things that I'm very happy about. So I can take control of my inner world, which causes me to feel differently in that moment. Or I can just bring myself totally into the moment and just pay attention to what's going on and what I can be grateful for in this moment. How beautiful the sky is outside, it's blue. If there's a breeze on my face, how wonderful that cooling breeze is. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. The point is that we have a choice. And with choice comes hope. And some people, that's what they need to get them out of a very dark place in their life. Hope. It can be the doorway into something better, something bigger, and something greater. So that's the first thing, choice, all right? You've got to explore, when you're down this end of the spectrum, are you coming from that you have a choice, or are you coming from I have no choice? I mean, this is just the way it is. I don't have a choice. Because you may not have a choice as to what's going on outside of you, but you have a choice as to what's going on inside of you. And test it. When you are feeling depressed or down or despondent or upset or demotivated or whatever this feeling is down here, ask yourself the question, am I assuming I don't have a choice? And if your answer is yes, then challenge that. What choices do I have right now? What choices are available to me right now? So that's first thing. Secondly, intention. Everything starts with setting an intention. And I'm not talking about a wishy-washy, well, it'd be nice if I was happier. No, a strong intention. My goal is to be happier in my life. My goal is to live a life of happiness, remembering that things are going to happen outside of us that are going to knock us out of that. But fundamentally, I want to be a happy person. It all starts with an intention. Once you set a strong intention and you've got a strong enough reason why you want to do it, you'll find out how to do it. And I'm going to share some how-tos with you, but you'll find out how to do it. And lastly, take responsibility. Your happiness, my happiness, is down to our own responsibility. All right, our own responsibility. There's that, lovely saying in a relationship that we used to say that, I'll take care of you if you take care of me. And in other words, I'm gonna make you responsible for my happiness, and you can make me responsible for your happiness. And that's not a very smart way to go about things. Better to say, I'll take care of me for you if you take care of you for me. In other words, we're all responsible for our own level of happiness. And the moment we make something or someone else responsible, we'll feel powerless rather than powerful. So we've got to take responsibility. If I'm sat in traffic, or I'm sat in the queue, or my flight's been cancelled, it's my responsibility, not someone else's responsibility. Now, that's not to say that we won't get angry sometimes. Anger has its space and it has its place. It's one of the emotions that's more down this end here. But fundamentally, we're still happy individuals, optimistic individuals. So as I say, I'm not saying you become a Pollyanna and you walk around going, I'm happy, 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 how's your relationship? Well, it's fallen to bits, but I'm happy, 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 How are your children? They hate my guts, but I'm happy, 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 So how's your job? I've just lost my job, I've been sacked. I'm happy, happy, happy. I mean, you can get a life, right, you idiot? So, that's not what I'm talking about at all. That's called being delusional. And in the next video that I'm going to talk about the danger of being delusional. But for now, they're the three things, right? So firstly, choice. All right, are you coming from choice? Secondly, are you making it an intention, a strong intention to be happy? Is it a goal of yours? I mean, have you really nailed it? Are you clear on why you want it? And then lastly, are you taking responsibility for your own level of happiness, or are you making something or someone else responsible for your level of happiness? Because when you start exploring that one, you'll be amazed at how much we rely on things outside of us for our happiness. And that's a dangerous place to be, which I'm going to talk about with these two pathways here on video number 2. So there we go. First video, a bit of a foundational one, some things for you to think about, get clear on which direction are you going in, up or down, what area of your life are you going up or down, health, wealth, love, and lifestyle. Are you making the assumption that you don't have a choice? If you are, challenge that. Secondly, have you set a clear intention to be happy? And lastly, how much responsibility are you taking for your level of happiness? If you had to put that on a percentage, what is it? Is it 50%, 70%? Because if it's not 100%, then it's still not going to work, because you're still making something responsible for your happiness. So there we are. Any questions or queries? Leave them below, the comment below. It's an interesting subject. I'm expecting some of you to challenge some of the things that I'm coming out with. If you're in a hurry, then leave me some feedback. 1 being not very good, 10 being really good, really enjoyed it, Colin. But please let me know. It makes all the difference when you just leave me a comment. I look forward to seeing you on video number 2, where we're going to talk about the 2 pathways to happiness. See you then. Hold on, now did you enjoy that video? Well, if you did, I would like to show you how you can train your mind to perform how you want it to, so that you can break through to the next level with my advanced mind power training. It's totally free, and you can get it by going to www.advancedmindpowertraining.com or clicking on the link below this video. I'll see you on the next video.